Today's episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast is brought to you by AOS Outdoor Kitchens. They are the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast. Today we're speaking to Brendan and Jayden from LumberjAxe's food company. They have some fantastic rubs, some great sauces, and we're catching up again with them after we spoke to them 2 years ago. It's been a quick 2 years, but they'll tell you more about that. So without much further ado, here's Brendan and Jayden. It's the LumberjAxe boys again. Great to speak to you again. Just in case people haven't heard the original episode with yourselves, introduce both of yourselves and tell us exactly what you're all about.
You crack on. So I'm Brendan.
I'm Jayden.
This sounds like a...
I know it's like a sales pitch now.
we are LumberjAxe's food company. So we do barbecue seasonings and sauces. We also do accessories and firelighters and fuels, things like that.
Just trying to, I suppose, make a break in the barbecue community, show people authentic American flavors that hopefully we can produce, and just see how mass market we can get it across the United Kingdom. Because I think a lot more people, as we sort of said, 2 years ago, was huge with COVID. COVID brought along a massive audience of barbecue enthusiasts, newbies, anything and everything. Everyone was flocking to their gardens, going to their barbecues. But it's nice to see, as the world has opened up sort of in the past 12 months, people are still sticking to their barbecues and the industry just keeps growing and growing and growing. So I think, 2023, 2024 is definitely going to be an exciting time for not just barbecues, but the outdoor living space in general.
Yeah, it's been great seeing you guys grow as well from the first episode that we have 2 years ago. I can't believe it was that long ago, which feels completely mad, right? It's great been having you guys on board as well for Barbecue Bingo this series as well. But with the fact that we've been highlighting your rubs as the series has been going on, and some of the people we've interviewed, we've been also making sure that they're getting some hands-on experience with the rubs too. But for beginners, what do you have to offer to help them?
Yeah, so in terms of when we make our flavors, we try to make everything versatile so anybody can use it. Mm-hmm. We don't want something to be too niche or, if anything, too broad as well. So we're trying to cater for all audiences. We've got a nice sweet barbecue seasoning, which I would say is our closest, our most broadest, closest to an all-purpose, even though it's not really like it.
Yeah. I mean, sort of what I love about what we do is by providing sort of flavour profiles and things like that, we're just enabling, say, the newbie to be able to, or the person sort of trying their hand at barbecue or cooking in general, really, to actually create, to actually enhance flavour within their cook with ease. Sort of if you're a chicken wing person, we've got various combinations that you can throw over chicken wings. If red meat's your thing, we've got a few different rubs that you could actually apply to sort of like steaks, burger patties, briskets, and things like that. It's just sort of being able to sort of shortcut someone to actually giving them a flavour profile rather than them having to try and create one themselves.
Yeah, I think as well it's important to note that when people think of rubs, seasonings, and even the sauces, they think it's a long process. I need to get the meat out a day before, rub it up, leave it 24 hours, 48 hours, which of course is a fantastic way to enhance the flavour out the seasoning. But for the people that are really, really busy, just want to get on the barbecue, it's also just as simple. Get a sandwich bag out, chicken in there, a little bit of oil, a couple of teaspoons of our seasoning, just to add that extra thing onto the barbecue. So I feel like we cover both aspects there. The people who do want to spend the time putting 48 hours work into it, but someone who just wants to whack the barbecue on of the evening, enjoy the night outdoors.
And of course, over the last kind of 2 years, the world's reopened up. We all know why, let's be honest. How have you found that and being able to actually talk to the people face to face in a number of the different shows and things that you've been going to?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that was a massive... it was kind of a think on our feet and run with it situation, because obviously we started the business during a testing time for the world, and it was very much social media based. And then what happened was the world opened up. Events started happening. People were, some people we'd spoken to, like yourself, really. We'd spoken to you for a long period of time purely through social media, and it was actually quite strange meeting people in person and going, "You're actually a real person." And but then it was kind of like doing the shows, sort of doing some we did some small events and we did some really big events early on, which I think helped us sort of think fast and get the ball moving on ways that we can sort of promote our business and showcase what we do face to face with people, and sort of it give us a real position to be able to actually get our flavors in front of people and get them trying them, because it's okay seeing a picture on social media, but once you actually tried the product, you actually can make sense of it a lot more and go, in actual fact, hot buffalo, me and my family like eating this, we could use that this way, or things like that. It just gives people was able to actually touch the product, smell the product, and think of ways that they could use it, which was cool.
Yeah, I think as well, so starting the business, we were quite, although, we are determined people, we knew it was going to work. It's quite an uncertain thing to go ahead and do. An industry whereby, although we barbecued ourselves, we were clueless that there was a massive barbecue community out there. So there was a really, really steep learning curve. But I think as an important thing to think of in business is it's quite easy to fall into an affirmation bias or a confirmation bias. So if we make a seasoning and our mum and our nan and our brothers and sisters and cousins, of course, they're going to say that they like it. So it's easy for us to sit in a building and go, well, our rubs must be brilliant. So to take them to an event and get real life feedback, and for us, it just really, really anchored the fact that I think we've really hit onto something here. We've got some really good flavors. It's clear now that a wide range of audience, because we went to shows up and down the country, Essex, Wales, Midlands, down south, up north, everywhere. So really, and it's not just showing it to the barbecue people, it's also the general population, people who are interested in cooking but aren't interested in barbecue, but going to shows where it's just barbecue people. So there's a massive wide range of an audience there. So it's nice to know it's not just us, people saying that our products are good because we think they're good and they're just saying it. It's nice to really go to that audience and get proper honest feedback. So, it's safe to say we've never had a negative review yet. Fingers crossed.
And off the back of that as well, and I think this is something that makes us, like Jayden said, we are determined people, and we will sort of, we will take people's feedback on board, and we'll observe what's going on. And in actual fact, okay, is the ways we can tweak that. So as a result of that, we've recently done a rebrand of our products, which we yet to, by the time this podcast goes out, we will have announced it and things like that. But, our original 4, we've done a complete rebrand off. So they're, now you've got T-bone, the LumberjAxe's on the front eating an actual steak. On the buffalo, he's tossing some buffalo wings in a bowl. They're just a lot more eye-catching and appealing and pop off the shelf more. And even with our Hank Around the World series, we've just made them a lot clearer and easier to read. So people aren't. One thing I found with events is people don't like to investigate. So if they don't know what it is straight away, they're not going to investigate. They're going to just look and carry on. So you have to make it very plain, not plain and simple, but clear, precise. This is what the product is. You can look at it and go, okay, I know what that is straight away.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's the invaluable part of going to these events and getting out, which you couldn't do the last time that we spoke because of, as we've already established, for obvious reasons. So that customer feedback that you're getting, is that, like you're talking about a rebrand, are those comments and feedback, is that shaping how you're now looking at doing not just your brand, but also any tweaks that you may do to your recipes or future products that you've hopefully got in the lineup and you can give us some exclusives on?
Yeah, that was more. It was more an observation, at the time. Like, obviously, when we did the shows, we would set the show up and sort of have the products on show and things like that. And then, like Jayden said, you know, we're dealing with a wide range of people here. We're dealing with sort of, you know, some like a young, enthusiastic barbecuer, all the way up to, say, an old age pensioner that just likes spicy food. So it was just kind of being able to, like, by observing how people was perceiving the brand and looking at the products, it was like, okay, in actual fact, I know. One of the big ones really was we brought the sauces out, and when we brought the sauces out, we although they was branded the same, we did a lot with them. We got sort of my friend Blake, who drew at the Lumberjack, and got him involved with actually drawing designs that I had in my mind. And once we'd done that and we placed those next to our rubs, I don't know, man. I was just like, those rubs need to look like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the route we've gone down. And but like I say, by the time the podcast goes out, it will all be, we'll have released the rebrand and stuff like that. But I'm so excited to do it because I just think it takes our products to another level in regards to the way they look and pop off the shelf.
Yeah, I think as well, it's so easy for us to go 100 miles an hour and spend every day, what can we do next? What can we do next? But it was important to, and you know, especially at shows and just for ourselves as well, to sit back and go, let's look let's look outside the box. Let's look from the outside towards our business. There are some changes that we need to make, which we were probably blindsided to just because we were going 100 miles an hour. And then we get to the end of the season and we think, I wish I could turn back time and make these changes. So just about realistically now, making our brand sort of elevate, become that next level, which I think's, you know, in due course, I would say.
Yeah, I'd hope so, yeah.
Yeah, and without being too crude and not wishing to blow smoke up your ass, part of this series, we have also spoken to Russ from the Rusty Barbecue Company, who can't speak highly enough of your guys and your products. So being at the shows and like networking, and not just with kind of the customers, but also other companies that might be doing rubs, flavorings, but also other kind of grilling companies and things. How has that changed how you're looking at the company and what you're doing too? Because that must have effect as well.
What do you mean? Sorry.
Well, like if you're speaking to customers and you're getting feedback from customers as well, if you're at like Sizzlefest and you're speaking to like Russ or you're speaking to like Marcus Borden about your rubs and they're saying X, Y, and Z, if you're talking to them about kind of some of their expertise in grilling, does that also have an effect on kind of your plans and flavor profiles? Yeah,
definitely. And, you know, I'm all, whenever I sort of meet these people, and to be honest, that was something we found quite surprising as well, because, you know, we went to Smoke and Fire Festival, for example, because that was earlier on in the year. And there was people that we'd obviously looked at online and sort of been like, wow, what they do is really cool. And then it was I was taken aback when we met them and they knew me by first name. And I was like, that feels odd. But I'm always happy. I'm always picking people's brains or...
Yeah. Whenever we can,
you know, Charles at SoCal, for example, he's been great. With, you know what, if I'm thinking a certain way, I'll speak to Charles, say, how do you see it from a retailer's point of view? I'll do the same with Paul at Barbecue Store, and then I'll speak to sort of certain people that we sort of chat to and get their take on it before we sort of push the button and run with it. Really,
yeah, I think it's a shortcut. It's a shortcut to success as well. Because, you know, Marcus Bowden, Charles, they've probably been in the game longer than I've been alive. Hopefully. So, you know, asking them questions, it's really, really, and, you know, even just feedback, it's really, really invaluable. I remember, you know, recently, just a few weeks back, we just had a meeting with Charles where it was, what are your genuine thoughts on our brand? What do you think when you see LumberjAxe's Food Company? Because that information that we get, it all just comes down to our minds. It's easy to get clouded with everything that we go on. It's just me and Brendan in this business. We've got to do, just like you guys, got to do everything and anything. So it's easy for your mind to get clouded. So when we do ask people, and you know, very recently we've tried to do that as much as possible, just to really get that invaluable feedback, because it can really shape what we end up doing. And you know, time is of the essence. It's March now. It's going to be April tomorrow. It's going to be May. Next thing I'm going to know, it'll be the end of the season.
And that's why we chose to, through the winter period, although we have been extremely busy, we have had a down time and periods where we can go, right, let's just forget everything for a moment. What do we need to get done before March? And that's why through this period we've got probably 4, maybe 5 new products ready just in the pipeline. We've got the rebrand. We've booked onto endless shows this year. So it's just
good luck. Oh, you guys were so busy at Sizzlefest. You look absolutely shattered, which can only be a good thing if you're that busy, but it must be tiring as well.
Yeah, it's definitely draining on the body, and sort of, guitar's going missing. And I thought,
don't tell T-Bone.
Yeah, but I remember the year just passed, and we was doing like back-to-back events, and like we do you're prepping for the event on the Friday, you do the 2-day event, which turns out to be a blur.
Yeah.
And then Monday you've done that much, you feel hungover even though you haven't drank. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're prepping for next week, and before you know it, you're in the van on the way, going down the motorway again.
Yeah, I think what makes it easy, and especially at the bigger shows and somewhere like SoCal, and really linking this back to possibly what Rusty Barbecues we're talking about, is the barbecue community and the people that are involved makes attending a show like that really pleasurable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fantastic. And that's like looking at Sizzlefest, Rusty Barbecue, what he's got going on with the charity.
Yeah, keep together.
Yeah, it's a really proud thing to then come away from and go, I've really made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what I think, that's what it's all about. There's thousands of our minds that can all come together and bring something fantastic from the barbecue community, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, as well, it's kind of an odd one that, I think a lot of people have this misconception that us and other sort of rub brands may not have a bit of a rivalry, and it's really not like that. We met Russ a lot, we had a really good chat and that, and then sort of cut to the smoke. We sort of met him, and he helped us out with a grill at Sizzlefest and stuff. He was like, "Yeah, I'll just take my Ranger, just use that." I was like, "Nice one." And we speak to Nigel all the time, and it's just nice that I think it's a bit of a lot of industries ain't like that, where people are actually genuinely happy to help each other.
Yeah.
And that's why it's such a pleasurable community, and like you said, business to be in. I think I can't remember if the first time we spoke to you guys, you had released the sources, or you were just in the process of releasing the sources. So I think the main things that we were talking about were obviously, the original rubs that you had.
And the Round the World series as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's a lot of what we talked
about at the time. But do you want to just kind of give us a bit more insight into the sources and that range, and obviously what's happened over, since we last caught up?
Yeah, I mean, so in regards to the sources, we kind of, we looked at, we had all of our rub products and stuff, and then we was like, well, we would see, so say for ribs, for example, we have our sweet barbecue seasoning, now rebranded to Backyard Barbecue because it's going to match the sauce. And we was like, well, people are using our rub on their ribs, but then they're having to get another barbecue sauce to smother over their ribs if they want them wet ribs, and or burnt ends or something like that. So it's like, okay, so if we're going to bring out sauces, let's not just do one, let's do 3, and we'll do a sweet sauce, a mid-range sauce around sort of sweet chili heat, and we'll do a hot sauce.
Yeah.
So that was the kind of thought process behind it. So we ended up with our Backyard Barbecue sauce, which is it's like Kansas style, nice and sticky. It's got molasses in it, honey. I love it on ribs. Pair that with our Backyard Barbecue seasoning now, and I think it works really well. our moonshine mango and chili, which, if I'm being honest, since the release of all of our sauces, that's the one that's just gone mental. It's nice and sweet, but it's got a good kick to it too. Works really well on wings. Smoky Maze did a really cool. He used our jerk seasoning and did jerk ribs, but then smothered it in the mango chili sauce after, which was cool. And then we've got our hot sauce, which is like Louisiana style hot sauce, nice and rustic. We've left all the we haven't sort of filtered it out. We've left all the, blended up chilies in there and, some seed and stuff. I think our range of sauces works really well. And even our hot sauce, I find a lot of hot sauce products that it's a bit of a competition. I'll watch you eat this and weep and see how much you can take it. But, with our hot sauce, you could smash that over a load of chicken or put it over some wings.
Similar to what I was saying about how we want our products to be versatile. We want everybody to be able to use them.
Yeah.
And I was just pointing on one note, which I sort of wanted to try push. And this was evident with our sauces as well, is we try not to add, we don't add any added preservatives or colours or MSG or anything like that into any of our products. All our range of seasonings, all our ranges of sauces. And I think that is the way that the barbecue community is going now, in terms of people are starting to double check what's on the back of the tin or the bottle, seeing how much sugar's in there, seeing what ingredients are in there. And just looking back to Sizzlefest, I can recall 20 plus comments, people talking about additives and MSG and is it good for you? Is it bad for you? The pros, the cons. And for us, especially the way our packaging is, it's just so easy to, there's no need for us to add any of those things.
Yeah, that's kind of, in a way, that is kind of the reason why we didn't go with a shaker too. Just because if the product does begin to cake slightly, you can put a fork in there, give it a bit of a mix round, and it's perfectly fine to use. Mm-hmm. That is a good point.
Yeah.
As to what we do really.
And what do you have planned for 2023 then? Where can people find you and see you?
Oh, that's a very good. We could probably write a book about it.
We've got I think at the moment we've probably got 40 shows booked in.
Wow.
40, you reckon?
Probably, yeah.
About that.
That's now as well. Probably more.
So we're doing Sizzlefest again, Smoke and Fires, the Game Fair, Ragley Hall, endless sort of outdoor living and country shows.
Some town events, you name it. Food festivals.
Yeah, we are literally up and down the country.
Anyway, yeah.
To be honest, we'll probably, as it sort of starts to kick off, we'll probably put a list on our Instagram of where we're going to be and what dates. In regards to sort of new things coming, we've got some products ready and waiting to be released. One of them, by the time this podcast goes out, will be released, and that's we're bringing out a moonshine mango and chili seasoning to match the sauce.
I hope that's an exclusive as well.
yeah, no one knows about it.
Exclusivity.
So, amazing.
Kind of the reason behind that as well is because whenever we've sort of cooked, we've always paired that with our hot buffalo seasoning, and then in the end, we was just like, let's just bring out a mango chili. It just makes sense. So we've got that.
It's went down. Obviously, we'll have more information by the time the podcast goes down. But from the people that we've sent it to try and feedback from people, it seems to be a winner so far. Which is good news.
Good.
So, and then we've got the rebrand and stuff, which again, by the time this goes out, will be released.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff I think as well, looking back at 2022, we were trying out so many different things, juggling so many different balls, and really, really going 100,000 miles an hour. During this sort of winter period, we've really went away and thought, going back to just a weird question, which is, what is LumberjAxe's Food Company? What's our 12-month plan? What's our 5-year plan? What does the business look like when it's finished? And I think now that those questions for us are answered, 2023 is going to be a really, really exciting time for us now. as we sort of push the products, really, really push the brand, go the extra mile. And, with the rebrand, new products, we're going to make the stand look better. It just really elevates our business and takes it to the next step, which I think is well
needed.
Yeah, well needed, and well within we've put a lot of work into this now, so it's time to just really grab it by the horns and go for it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like because of how we started the business, and the change, like you say, about the change in sort of world dynamic, I suppose, lockdown and the world opening up and stuff. We've kind of just a lot of what we've done is think on our feet, roll with what's happening and embrace it. So now we've done sort of the COVID period, and we've done a year of events with the world opening up and stuff, and working with stockists and stuff like that, which again is something that now we've done that for a year. We want to do a lot more with our stockists and sort of enable give them the best possible chance to push our product through their store. If there's anything we can do to help them, all of these things. So we've kind of had to think on our feet a lot. So it's been nice to have a sort of reflection period, I suppose. And like Jayden says, say, okay, well, somehow we've managed to get it to here. So what's the plan from here on in?
Yeah. Just trying to, it's always difficult. And I think whatever actions you choose, you'll always think we're about to say at the end of it, but it's, what are the correct options for us now? And, we've had plenty of feedback and plenty of stuff to go. And I think as well, like half of it's just ride the boat and go. Paddles will come to you. I'm sure they will.
And you still, again, I think last time you just started working with a load of brand ambassadors. Obviously, we've started a new partnership with you for this season, which we're very excited about.
Yeah, we're about that too, man.
Is that also again part of your plans to kind of continue working with the community, have those partnerships, those ambassadors, and kind of push content and recipes and things for you?
Yeah, I think a massive part of what we want our business to be, if somebody messages the Instagram inbox, for example, we will always reply, and always you'll be talking to me or you'll be talking to Jayden. We're very passionate about being in touch with people that are in touch with our brand and things like that. We've been doing work with a range of people, and we've built really good relationships with people that we hold highly, really. And we are fortunate now whereby we have got bonds with people whereby we can go, we try this and give us an honest feedback. We've got this product. For example, so David at Barbecue Mag, we spoke to David at Smoke and Fire, and we'd spoken to him previously, but a lot had happened since we'd first spoke to them. And David and Rupert, we had a sit down and a chat, and they give us some of their lovely beer. Have you tried the Barbecue Mag beer?
No, haven't. No,
mate. Their session ale, the session beer.
IPA one.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, it's really nice. But they, we had a sit down to give us a beer, and we had a chat. We've been doing some sort of keeping in touch with those guys and the team there, and we're fortunate whereby we can go speak to those and get feedback off those, and then the opportunity came up for us to do a recipe and have there was doing a segment on they liked to add tandoori recipe, and there was doing a segment on tandoori and things like that. There was a tandoori grill in there too. So we spoke to one of our brand ambassadors, said, listen, this opportunity is coming around, can you get us a recipe for the tandoori? And Alex Smoky Mays sent us a recipe, absolutely amazing. It did tandoori chicken skewers with flatbreads, and it got published in the magazine, which we was really proud of. So we want to, I suppose, give back in that regard. Alex has pushed our brand like Pete has to Pedro. That they push our brand with us. and people like Russell Davies, Kirsty, like that. You know, I know Kirsty really loves our Moroccan rub, which is brilliant, and we want to. If opportunities arise and we can do things like get recipes in magazine or other sort of opportunities arise, like Pete came and cooked with us at Sizzlefest and was really grateful for. If those things sort of can come around, we want to be able to give back and sort of give them opportunity too.
Yeah, I think as well, like we were so lucky to have a good ambassador team from the get-go.
Yeah.
And, looking at almost 3 years down the line, our ambassador group chat everyone's still going crazy in there all the time. And now it's nice to get, for those who want to do it like Pete, etc., getting those people involved with us in the summer season. It's nice to just think, they really supported us from the beginning. Yeah. Now, look how far we've come. One of our brand ambassadors, who we probably never even met face to face when we first started, took a punt on us, really, helped push our brand, and now, they're coming to help cook with us. They're coming and we're really just trying to push everything we can with it, really.
I'm in touch with Pete, very often, and sort of, like I say, he came and cooked with us at Sizzlefest. Couldn't thank him enough. And there's a lot of things that are going to happen this year whereby, we will sort of be doing a lot of demo cooks or doing sample food or this, that, and the other. And I'd love nothing more than to sort of get these people around us again and go full hammer with it with them, really.
If you've been looking or thinking about an outdoor kitchen, then look no further than AOS Outdoor Kitchens.
They are the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists.
Their extensive showroom is based just outside Bournemouth on the Dorset-Hampshire border, and as well as numerous in-store displays, also features a live outdoor kitchen where they cook every week on Kamado grills, pizza ovens, and all filmed and shown on YouTube.
They offer a wealth of knowledge on how to transform your patio into the most incredible outdoor dining area with styles and options to suit every budget, and you can guarantee they will be able to create something perfectly suited to you and your home.
They stock and supply everything that you're going to need for outdoor cooking, including barbecues, Kamado ovens, pizza ovens, outdoor fridges, and every accessory that you would need to become the ultimate outdoor chef.
So if you want to make yourself the envy of your friends and neighbours, get in touch with them today to arrange a consultation and take the first step in transforming your back garden into the most incredible entertainment space.
Visit aoskitchens.co.uk.
So has all of this changed how you cook and how you grill and how you barbecue over the last few years?
Yeah, massively. I mean, like I say, we've sort of always done cooking and barbecue because of our granddad. He's very old school in the way he does things, sort of beer over chicken, a lot of sort of fast-fired grilling and stuff like that. And it's nice because I feel like we've took what he showed us and just took it to a new level now. So when we have barbecues at home as well, Granda can chill out with a beer and we'll hold the fort and serve him some food for a change.
I think as well, like looking at the barbecue community, you got people like Sue Stoneman cooking things that you wouldn't even think you can cook in a barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and like even like Asta.
Yeah,
I can't even cook like that kid can.
He's a
no
very
one
talented
can.
Young man, isn't he?
No
he
one
really,
can.
Really
and you know what? He's a lovely guy. He's honestly a lovely guy too.
Yeah,
we've bumped into him a few times, and he's done some. Again, he did he cooked a curry with our tandoori, and he did a reel of it and tagged us, and I was just like, he was stirring mango chutney into his curry and all sorts of business. I was like, I don't know where this kid gets this from, but he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It really, really is fantastic. Yeah. I think as well, like, I was just thinking of this as well and noted it's International Women's Day today, so maybe it's worth bringing it up. But people think of barbecue as a manly, take Brendan, big bloke, beard, hat, the whole shebang.
Big bloke.
Yeah.
Awkward.
The Father Christmas outfit will be coming out this winter. But looking at it, on a grand scale, it's a massive, massive mixture of people,
Yeah.
young, old, all different genders, all different types of people really, really going out. And, you know, nobody looks at anything differently. I'm taking tips from someone who's younger than me. I'm taking tips from someone who's older than me, who's completely different to me. Nobody goes, oh, hold on a minute.
If you can cook, you can cook.
Yeah, nobody really does. Everyone just cracks on and really, really goes for it at 100 miles an hour.
Here's another funny story for you.
Here we go.
On the old big bloke. Hashtag. Yeah. We was at Smoke and Fire, and the amount of people now, and this was never intended, but the amount of people now that go, "Is that you?" and they point at the logo and then point at me, and I'm like, I'm just another big guy with a ginger beard. It's not meant to be me. And then, and this one woman was like, "No, you're vain. You are. That's you." And I was like, genuinely, like, it's not meant to be me. And then she like bought some product off us, and she made me sign a box, and her husband was filming me sign a box, and I felt like proper dumb. I was like, "What?" Jayden whipped his phone out quicker than can be. I was like, "What is going on here?"
That was fires, I think.
But you are turning up to a show in a red sort of lumberjack shirt every time, right? Is that?
Well, yeah, I've kind of morphed into weirdly, yeah. I've kind of took on the old, you know. I mean, I've always had a ginger beard, but I just think now I wear a Yeti hat and a check jacket, so everyone just thinks that I'm.
Yeah, the face of the brand.
I'm now,
which is what you are now.
You got to own it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I might put that hashtag. Next time we post, I'll put hashtag big bloke.
You must have loads of kind of those funny stories as well from going to these kind of events. I know kind of before we started talking, you talked about this bit of a funny moment before Sizzlefest as well.
Oh yeah. yes.
So this is embarrassing, actually. So,
because it's important to note. It's important to note as well. I wouldn't say we wing it, but sometimes we wing it.
All I will say, Charles, if you're listening, if this is not dedication, I don't know what.
Absolutely.
Is, right? So we planned to book a hotel, and we thought Birmingham, Southampton, bit of a trek, bit of a long journey. We can't do that in the morning. We'll go the night before. Gets in the van,
thinking about it.
Van's full of stuff, rammed. Can't get nothing. You couldn't throw a baked bean into the back of the van if you wanted, because it's like bursting at the seams, right? So we drive to Southampton. I look at Jayden and go, "Where's the hotel?" And he looks at me and goes, "I thought you'd booked the hotel." And I was like, "I haven't booked the hotel." And he's like, "Neither have I." So after a bit of a panic, we phone a hotel who then tells us she wants £350 for a night.
And we were going back down the phone going, "Can't you do it for 20 quid?"
And at this point, I'm eating a double cheeseburger in a service station because we've got nowhere to go. And like, we was just joking with the woman in the end. I said, "Do it half price, I'll bring you a McDonald's."
Yeah.
And
then actually the service station had a hotel, but it was fully booked.
It was fully booked.
So it's just typical.
So me and Jayden ended up sleeping in the front of the van because we couldn't normally. So we've done a fair few shows where we've slept in the back of the van with an airbed and stuff. Mm-hmm. And by then the show's finished. We've had a few beers. It's fine. But we've just done a trek on the motorway. It's freezing.
It was cold as well.
Me and him in the front of a van with like blankets and like
limited supplies.
Like my jacket covering the window, trying to sleep, and like
it was genuinely the most uncomfortable experience.
Yeah, it was horrendous. A lot. I could hear lorries. I could hear like people, just like drunk people walking into the service station, kicking bottles about. It was cold, and I think I slept. Hence why you probably said we looked knackered. I slept for about an hour.
Yeah, okay.
It was honestly the worst experience of my life, sleeping in the front of that van.
Do you know what? Like for the people listening as well, to add an extra layer to this, because Owen and I were looking into this when we went down there. I don't know if you know this. That same weekend, there was a huge marina show as well. So I would have said probably around a 20 to 30 mile radius of Southampton was fully booked for hotels. Yeah. There was no way in hell you would have been able to have got anything anywhere around there. You could have spent 3 or 4 hours calling every single hotel in the area and you would have been stuffed.
Mate, at one point we was asleep, and like I was like trying to like hold myself on by the steering wheel and like put like a pillow there and go to bed, and I couldn't. And I had to open the glove box to slap my foot in the glove box to hold myself up to sleep. It was honestly, it was horrendous.
Yeah, if that wasn't a bonding experience, I don't know what else will be.
If it weren't my brother, I'd have booted him out, mate. I'm telling you.
On one of the other points you made as well about like we're just winging it. The secret, the dirty secret that no one talks about in like the community. Everyone is winging it.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Everyone is winging it.
Yeah. We like, and this isn't to throw shade on anybody at all, but because me and Brendan often think it's just me and Brendan running this business. People look at us and think that, and not to say that we aren't, but people look at us like we're a fully fledged business with staff. And
that feels odd. That's the bit that mind boggles me. It's like people were like, and I kind of get it now, but like. At the time, people was like, it's weird when people come up and they're like, "You're right, Brendan. I've used this, and this," and I'm like, "Oh, cool. Where did you get that from?" And they're like, "I bought it from this shop," and I'm like, "Oh yeah." And then they know me, but I haven't got a clue who this person is. And then like 9 times out of 10, I'll be like, "You on Instagram?" They'll go, "Yeah, blah blah barbecue," and I'll be like, "Oh no way!" And then it's just like such a surreal feeling.
Yeah, and I think it's only when you go to the shows you realise, hold on, everyone's like this. It's too fake. You see the big brand and the big logo. It's just a couple of people doing the same thing as us.
Yeah.
Trying to do it, winging it, cracking on.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're exactly the same. I think I texted you this afternoon, Brendan. You asked me, you said, "Oh, what we're going to be talking about today?" And my literal answer was, "We're going to wing it." This is, I think by the time this comes out, this will be our 55th episode, and I mean, Dan was just saying just before you guys came on, I must get a new notepad, and I'm like, I've never written a single thing down in all 55 episodes. I don't.
That's because you're not the editor. You're not the editor. You just go through there. A lot of the way we work, and we've talked about it, but before. Owen does a lot of the booking, the admin, the uploading stuff. That's why we work so well. I'm sure that's why you guys work so well. And, the relationship you guys have got anyway, how each other work. One of us does that. I am the daft sod sitting here, writing down all the notes, doing all the editing. And then 2 years in, Owen's like, "You don't take notes, do you?" Yeah. I've filled a notepad over 50 episodes.
You know what though? That's why the podcast feels so natural though, because you actually don't need a lot. You're not being regimented in the way you do it, and it's at the end of the day, it's a very casual subject that we're talking about.
Yeah,
it should. I think that's where you guys have hit the nail on the head. And the way you do things is better because, if we came on here and we had a pre-written script for every question you was going to ask us, I think it would be a whole different type of feel to how the podcast is.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be boring as shit, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It'd be just robotic. It wouldn't be fun for us. It wouldn't be fun for you. It wouldn't be beneficial for you. It wouldn't be beneficial for us. So
people see through that. In the same way that people see through, if you guys weren't authentic, weren't passionate, didn't know everything inside out because it's the two of you doing everything, people would see through it as well, particularly when they speak to you at shows.
Yeah, and we're super honest. Like, I'm more than happy to say, I can come up with the flavours. I can come up with, I think we should go down this route. Then Jayden will come every now and again and go, "Brendan, have you thought about this?" Like, he came up with a hank around the world, and I was like, in actual fact, you're right. Like, that was a very good idea. But people come up and like they'll come up and say, we're the business, this and this, and if it's something technical or like something like I'll be honest, over my head, I look and I just point at Jayden and start laughing, and they're like, I need to speak to him, and I'm like, "Yeah, mate, I ain't got a clue about it." I don't do technical stuff, man. Like, and that's where we're honest. Like, I just go. Like, people ring me and go, "You're right, Brendan. If we do this, what about this?" And I'm like, I'll get Jayden to email you, because I haven't got a clue.
Yeah. It's funny as well watching like people who know us, if I've like talked to them before, like when we did like work with Primo Grills, Deb's on Primo Grills, she'll come straight up to me.
Yeah, she wouldn't even look at me.
She knows how we work.
If it's like, what do we cook, or what should we do with this flavour, then I'm all ears. But if it's anything like to do with numbers, techie stuff, or email, she don't even look in my direction, because she knows she's not going to get it. David as well. If it's something to do with a grill, or from Barbecue Mag, something to do with a grill, or what about this, or Bren, I want his picky brain about this, or I'll ask him a question. But if he knows for a fact, if it's anything techie, he'll just email Jay. He won't even bother speaking to me. He'll just email Jayden, because he knows I ain't gonna have a clue, mate.
Which I think is why, like, it's all about getting as much as you can done in a small amount of time. And for me and Brendan to be doing the same thing at once is a colossal waste of time. And there's a lot of people in the UK that want to be spreading our message to, and so little time to do it in. So really trying to maximise, just little things like, we know what the job roles are because we've written them down, so we can hold each other accountable. We can, we can do what we actually need to do in the business and not be second guessing all the time. Which
everyone, again, big bloke. Everyone thinks because I look like I barbecue and I've got a ginger beard, everyone thinks that they come to me and that I'm the one that calls the shots, when in actual fact, they don't realise Jayden tells me off. Genuinely, Jayden tells me off more than my missus does.
That'll be done.
I'm waiting for him to say to me, it's 10 o'clock, you need to get home now.
He can look after all my kids, eh?
On that dynamic, like just on the podcast side, like it'd be interesting to see over the next series. Owen and I's dynamic previously had been that we've worked together for years. That's originally where we met and how we built this friendship. And it was always that Owen was my manager, but I was like the salesperson. Our brains work very, very differently. You talk about numbers, Owen's is the numbers guy completely.
Yeah.
My thing is talking to people, effectively flirting with people, and just getting the stuff out of them that I want to hear. But both of our roles have changed. And I'm interested to see if that actually changes the sound of the podcast as well. Because it's not like we're able to talk to each other when we should be working for 7-8 hours a day now, And has your dynamic changed with the fact that you guys obviously work together so closely? Because being a family unit, it's one thing to be that way in one way, but working together constantly, has that changed your relationship?
Yeah, massively. And to be honest, touching on what you've just said, so Jayden's my younger brother. When we first started this business, it was a very difficult thing to have my younger brother tell me what to do.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
There was a lot of stuff like that.
I was like, what is this? Why is this like telling me?
Do you think your age at the time came into it as well? Because of the ego being that bit younger as well. Do you think that's part of it?
Yeah, it was more like because I'm the oldest sibling and Jayden's the youngest sibling, so it was a bit like, hold on, between. I've got Jayden pointing his finger at me saying, "You ain't done this, you ain't done that," and I'm thinking, give me a break, man. Like, but
a little vice versa. I'm thinking, you're not my dad. Don't tell me what to do. Don't say this.
Like, honestly, like, if you could hear some of the bickers we had, but then, like, it's really funny because we'd bicker and then like I'd go home. And then 10 minutes later, he'd ring me and go, "You're right, bro, we've just had an email about this." And it was like nothing had happened. And then we both start laughing down the phone. And
that is what the key is now.
It don't even happen now. Like, because we both know how each other work. Like, I think
if it does get to that stage, because we've worked for so long, we know how to not make it get to an argument level. Yeah. And even if it does, we know, let's just go our separate ways for 5 minutes and we'll come back and crack on.
Yeah.
So more often than not, then, who's the person that's right?
That would be the first argument.
And on that note, this is ending the podcast. Brendan and Jayden walked off.
and this week on the Meet and Greet Argument podcast.
Yeah, that's it. Arguing first.
Yeah, and I think something we have been doing, started to do, and we need to do is actually, meet up every now and again and don't talk about work, because at the end of the day, I know we run a business together, but before all of that, he's my brother, and I don't want him to just look at me and go, he's just going to chew my ear off about barbecue. So like at the end of the day, I want us, to have some downtime as well.
Yeah, and I think that really, because it's so easy to, especially when you've got a lot on, it's so easy to try and juggle everything, the stresses of life, and excuse me, you can go days of doing the same thing. Although I love it, I'm smelling the same seasonings. I haven't seen anybody except him in God knows how long, and it does build up, a small amount of stress over time. So it's nice to, whether that's just me going around his house or vice versa, where we just speak to the whole family. We're not talking about business, or we meet up, go to the pub, everything like that, where it's just not about business. Text the release valve off.
Yeah.
Because it's outside of work, you've still got Brendan's got a family of 6 at home. There's a lot of stresses of life that everyone's got.
Busy man.
Yeah. It's not just blends you've been working on.
I can tell you this: the business is now closed.
Yeah, you are right. It's you think,
and it can cause sorry to interrupt there, but it can cause tension between us, and that's when it starts becoming, I'm right, you're wrong, and although we've got stuff in place for us not to argue with each other, let's not forget we're brothers. We went from arguing every single day to now running a business which seems to be going well for us. So what was that point? Last point I just said, because it was a really interesting point.
It was basically, I'm right all the time.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a strength. The fact that you've argued for so many years means that you can call each other out and say, you're talking shit.
Yeah. And to be honest, that's a massive thing that we've learned as well, is we're both comfortable with it now.
Yeah.
For example, on Monday, I was meant to get some stuff done, and I never. He texted me twice asking me questions, and I thought, he's going to nail me here. And then in the end, he went, why ain't you done that? And I was like, I know. but we're just both comfortable with it now. And we're just, half the time now, if something's expected of us and we know full well that we ain't going to get it done, we'll just outright just go, that ain't going to happen.
I think that's important. That's what a partnership is, isn't it? And Jen, talking to your point about having that kind of release of a pressure valve, just not talking about business. I think not perhaps to the same extent. Well, where me and Dan don't work together anymore, especially where I was. I was his manager and stuff. There were certain boundaries that we don't have that anymore. But often what we find ourselves most nights, if we're not talking to each other or we're not recording a podcast, we're texting each other about the episodes or what we're going to be doing. And you're right, it does get to that point where actually, by the time we've done 15, 20 episodes, we try not to talk to each other about podcasts for a month or whatever it might be, just to give yourself that opportunity to kind of decompress and just think about other things. Because we're
mainly alcohol with us.
Yeah, pretty much. But we were friends before we started. Before podcast hosts. So again, we have other things to talk about, but 98% of the time it's about this.
I think as well, it comes with pros and cons. So as we were discussing about the release valve, but the pros as well. Brendan will often message each other, and come 3-4 weeks down the line, I'm thinking, get off my back. Because it's very, very easy. It's very easy to sit down and not get anything done in the day. But, just attaching on pro there, it's nice to have Brendan always basically being not being my manager, but as if there is one there, keeping me in check, making sure that I'm working, because you could go, like I said before, with the pressures of everything of life in general, it's so easy just to sit there and, you know, running your own business as well. You have to wake up. If you don't wake up, that's your business going down the pan. So you need the motivation, not only to wake up, but to work all day, to notice that you might not make any money today because you're doing the work for something that might be 6 months down the line. It takes a lot of motivation to really propel you. So we look at that realistically. Although I might think to myself, leave me alone. It's those kind of things that, you know, we do need to have with each other. So
yeah, I'm the same. But, you know, it's just nice to, because we can bounce ideas off each other, and then I might have an idea I'm really passionate about, but then he's not really feeling it, and then you find that happy medium. And it's just nice to have someone there. We both give each other a kick up the arse and keep ourselves in check, don't we?
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, should we move on to our barbecue bingo? Barbecue Bingo is brought to you by LumberjAxe's Food Company, your ticket to Flavortown, which we've kind of updated a little bit. And obviously you are our sponsors of the Barbecue Bingo section for this season. So it's great to have you on board.
Yeah,
so what I'm going to do is I'll bring up the wheel, our high-tech wheel, since, you know, that we've spent almost no money on.
Almost no money? What are you telling me? I haven't invested in this. Because say almost, it's no money.
Okay, so you should be able to see the screen now with the lovely ingredients. So same as it was before, in that there's a load of ingredients. We're going to spin the wheel. Whatever it lands on, we'd love you to cook for us. We've got my signature dish, which will be your signature dish. So if it lands on that, what are you guys known for that you're going to give us, that you would cook for us?
Signature dish, is it?
God, burger.
Yeah.
Burger.
Yeah.
You just can't knock a smash burger, I think.
We've done plenty of them last year.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so the twist is this time, majority of these ingredients have been left by previous guests. So what we're going to spin it in a second, and whatever it lands on, again, we'd love you to cook, but we'd like you to replace that with an ingredient, and in the hope that who we talk to next will be the person that
Mate,
receives
there's some
that.
proper rascal ones on here.
Oh, yeah. We get that. Half the people go, what would be interesting to cook? I don't know. Maybe like using Szechuan pepper, maybe some black pudding, you know, maybe something a bit different like duck. And then other people are like, beef tongue, get that on there. I hate that. Chocolate buttons, get that on there.
If I get beef tongue, or liver,
I cannot tell you how much I want it to land on there. Right, let's give it a spin.
oh, it's gonna go liver anyway.
Let's give it a spin.
No.
Oh yeah, we'll be all right with that.
Sweet. We can do
Sweet
that.
pastry.
Yeah,
I'll be asking to
I already know what we're gonna do with that.
Nice.
Go on, share. What's your thoughts?
Beef tongue.
We'll do. Yeah, we'll do
Sugar, candied.
We'll do. I think we'll probably do like. Does it have sweet pastry? I was thinking like is it baguette Greek?
Yeah.
Probably do that.
And the great thing is, don't ask us because we want to see what people's opinions are. Just do it.
Okay.
Because we're never going to go, nah, it's wrong, mate. Redo it. I love watching how people's brains work, because sweet pastry, you could always do a savory dish with a sweet twist on it, you know?
Yeah.
Which is great. And what about this ingredient you're leaving?
Get to your local veg shop now.
I don't know why we thought it so funny. Beans were bringing out a mango chili seasoning. We'll put a mango on there.
Nice.
Why are you laughing at mango?
I don't know, mate. It was just the when you said it, and then Jay went, I know what I'm putting on there. It's not even that funny.
Oh, for God's sake.
So immature, man.
Yeah.
It's the way you said an ingredient and you went, I know what I'm putting on there. We do this all the time. No, like, we giggle about stuff, and then, like, my mum will be like, "What you both giggling at?" And she thinks we're taking the piss out of her, and we're not. We're just giggling about something really stupid.
Like mangoes.
Like mangoes.
Well, we've had the barbecue bingo, and you've talked about one of your fails, of course, with the journey down to Sizzlefest. Are there any other fails you want to talk about, either barbecue or maybe to do with the business, which you can look back and laugh at now? Either or. What do you want to be failing at?
I've got a funny story here. So, Jayden texts me, "Hi mate, can you go and grab the mangoes tomorrow? We need them to make sauce." I was like, "Okay."
I still don't know what it is yet.
So I'm walking, with more mangoes than you could ever imagine, stacked up in boxes. You know where this is going, yeah. And I've been walking down this hill. I don't know what I've trod on, and I've just gone, whoa. Next thing I know,
like a cartoon.
Next thing I know, I'm on my back. There's mangoes everywhere, and this woman and a kid who's about 3 are like helping me up off the floor. I'm so embarrassed in all my life. Yeah.
How long did it take you to pick up all the mangoes?
Ages, man. I don't think we didn't even use them in the end, because it was just like there was
smashed.
They went in the road and that, and like cars were running over mango. Honestly, it was a catastrophe.
Surprised it went on the paper. Local town infested by mangoes.
Oh mate, it was just the embarrassment of this little like 4-year-old trying to help me up off the floor with his mum, and I was like, I felt like a rock donut.
If you weren't sick of mangoes after that, you will be.
I've got one that Owen doesn't know about. So we
yes, secret podcast on the side.
Yeah, secret podcast on the side. We recently went to an Alton's open evening, and I got myself a Dutch oven, and I was like, right, I'm gonna do chili in this. Started making a chili, put everything together, stuck it in. I was like, right, I'm just gonna put the pepper in now before I stick it on. I get the pepper grinder, so when you take the lid off and you just twist to get everything out. So I'm twisting, nothing's coming out, twisting, nothing's coming out, twisting. And as I checked for the 3rd time, I'd been untwisting the lid of the actual grinder. So as I took it off, literally a whole full pepper mill of peppercorns into this chili. I was like, oh. I was like, right, I'm going to stop taking photos. I'm not going to say it's a write-off, but I'm not putting this. I was so upset with myself. So I can't put any of this on Instagram because I'm going to know the story behind it. Maybe it would have been a nice fail, but I was so angry at myself at the time. I was like, right, because I'm a child as well. I was like, I'm not doing this on the barbecue anymore. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take it all out and get all the peppercorns out, throw them all away. What a bloody waste. Stuck it in like a normal pan and started cooking it, and I was so annoyed I walked off, forgot, and the bastard thing burnt into the pan as well on the hob. I didn't even get to eat it. I was like, you bastard, in the bin, I'm going to bed, bottle of wine, that's it.
Yeah, bottle of wine and a pot noodle.
I don't even think I ate anything that night. I was so annoyed. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on anyway, but I was just like, I don't care. Here's a bottle of red. I'm going to bed. Screw you. Screw you Wednesday evening.
we had this is another funny story, because it was like something off the Chuckle Brothers. Do you remember the Chuckle Brothers TV show?
Yeah. To me, to you, yeah.
Jayden texts me around Christmas. Got a leftover beef joint we never used. I'll bring it round. We'll throw it on the Prima. I was like, sound. Comes round my house. We was going to do some emails and stuff. Prepped all the meat. Walked up to the Prima. Went like that.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing happened. Tried to open it. Nothing happened. It was iced shut. Do you think we could open this grill? I mean, I tried everything, mate. I went on the Primo forum. Primo iced like frozen shut. There was like put a fire in the ash, like put a firelighter in the ash hole. That's not it fucking really.
That's a Saturday night, isn't it?
Put it in the ash thing. Tried that, but because it was wet inside, it was all like it would just the fire kept going at in the end, mate. We just quit and we just cooked it indoors. It was like trying to like prise it open with it. It was
should try and shove like knives in there and everything just to try and prise it open.
Yeah, someone said, get like a knife and prise it open. we couldn't do that.
No,
We tried
it was rock
tried
solid,
everything. Yeah, obviously we've since opened the grill, but at the time
That'll be weird if it gets to 16 degrees. This bastard is still frozen. Nothing's opening this.
Yeah, we couldn't open it at all, man. I was so pissed.
Was mad.
Oh, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you back on. And again, we're really, really pleased to be working with you for this season. And hopefully, we don't have to leave it until the end of the year to see you at Sizzlefest. Perhaps we do get to catch up with you face to face beforehand.
Oops.
Oh, you disappeared.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
I thought you were just leaving. Nah, I'm gone. I've had enough.
Shows. See you later.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, but no, all seriousness, guys. Thanks very much for coming back on, and we'll catch up with you soon.
One last time, though. How can people find you, and where can they buy your stuff?
So you can go on our website, www.lumberjaxfoodcompany.co.uk. You can buy that online. We do various gift boxes and sort of options for you to get sort of a better deal for a bundle. We stocked in most of the barbecue sort of stores, and we'll put a list of events. That's something we should probably do online, showing where we're going to be at what shows throughout the year as well.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thanks very much.
Fantastic.
Well, yeah, thanks for having us, guys, and we're proud to sort of do the sponsor for the barbecue bingo section and stuff. And
yeah, it's been brilliant coming on. Nice to talk.
And
we've loved it.
We'll have to have a beer when we next see you.
Absolutely.
Or 12.
15.
All right, guys. Thanks very much.
Yeah,
cheers, guys.
Thank you. Cheers.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it for another episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue Podcast. Great to catch up with Brendan and Jayden at LumberjAxe's Food Company. They're our partner for Barbecue Bingo for this season, and great to be working with them. As ever, we want to hear from you. Please tell us what you want us to talk about on the podcast. Get in touch with us via social media at Meet and Greet Barbecue Podcast, our website, meetandgreetbarbecuepodcast.com. And until next time, keep on grilling. Today's episode is brought to you by AOS Kitchens, the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists.